This is Market Kitchen Big Adventure, the show that inspires you to get cooking and eating as we show you the very best produce that Britain has to offer.
You giving in now?
Never! Look at that, beautiful.
Each week I'll be joined by a top chef as we celebrate the unique produce of each region. And once we've found our produce, we'll be taking it back to base to put it into some mouth-watering dishes that will hopefully inspire you to get cooking at home. These are lovely.
Lovely and sweet, aren't they, as well? Just melt some damsons, look at those. How beautiful are they?
That's very nice, very nice. And this week we're in Somerset, the beautiful county in the southwest of England, famous for its outstanding food.
And back at base, our guests and I will once again get the chance to dine in style as we sample the best produce Somerset has to offer in a whole host of delicious West Country dishes.
We've come to Somerset to discover some of the best produce that this county has to offer and find out what makes the area so special when it comes to food. And joining me on the road to find all this fantastic produce is guest chef Mark Sargent. He was inspired to become a chef by the late great Keith Floyd and went on to work with Gordon Ramsay for 13 years, earning a Michelin star for one of his top restaurants. Once we've found our tasty ingredients, Mark and I will be taking them back to base to use them in some truly delicious recipes. In search of quality produce, Mark headed off to Burcote Mill. He's meeting proprietor Steve French, who recently escaped the rat race to run one of the last remaining Victorian flour mills.
Wow. So this is, I've never seen anything like this before, I have to say. I've been so excited about coming today, seeing like a proper old-fashioned working mill. And so this is the machinery, is it?
Yeah, so basically these are the gears, the water wheels behind the wall.
Okay.
And these gears effectively transform the power from the water wheel upstairs to where our millstones are.
That's where the stones are.
That's right. Shall I get it going?
Crank it up. Look at that.
I just need to get the grain dripping in.
Right.
And then move stones together. What I'm trying to do now is establish how far, if the stones are close enough together for our extra fine flour.
Okay.
This bit's quite active, but once you've set it up, it basically runs itself.
So, okay, I get this bit, but where exactly do you pour the grain in to go into the stones?
Okay, well that's upstairs. In fact, I need to do some now, so do you want to have a look?
Yeah, I'd love to have a look.
Basically, the stones are in here, and we just tip the grain in here. So if I open this up, you can see the grain.
Wow.
Let's pour it in.
So obviously, you know, you have like the kind of the museum side of things. But I mean, is it a viable business for you?
If you think about it, the only real big cost is the grain that we put in.
Right.
But we sell our flour all over Somerset through farm shops, and we even supply some big hotels and some bakeries.
Steve, what I'm quite surprised about is the smell, that amazing, nutty, lovely smell. It smells like nothing, no flour I've ever smelled before. Yeah. So I'd be really keen to see if you can actually taste that as well.
The mill also operates as a B&B, and Steve's wife Louise bakes cakes using their own flour.
Thank you very much. Now, personally, I mean, do you think it makes a big difference using this flour than you would buy some ordinary
I think
flour?
it does, and a lot of people, you know, other than myself, have used it for cakes and bread and all sorts of things.
That is an amazing cake. It's so moist. It's got almost a caramel flavour to it. It's lovely. I'm going to take away a bag of extra fine flour with me, please.
Okay.
And this half that's gone.
You can take this bag just here.
Excellent. Thank you, my darling.
Okay.
See you later.
Take care.
So Mark's got his flour. Meanwhile, I'm off to a state-of-the-art mill near Glastonbury to track down some spelt. This ancient grain originated from the Middle East over 9,000 years ago, and it's currently experiencing a revival in the 21st century. Monty.
Hi, Matt.
Matt, nice to meet you.
Welcome to SharphamPark.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful here.
We're very lucky, aren't we?
And somewhere in this building you have a mill.
We do.
Right.
Follow
Show me
me.
around. You're the chief miller, are you? Nice to meet you.
He's the expert.
So this is not what I expected when I thought of a mill. I don't know why I'm still thinking in terms of, you know, sales and...
This is high tech, the latest technology, because we have a crop to deal with which is very unusual.
Does that make your job very difficult?
It does, because you have to remove, that is spelt in its raw form.
Okay.
And what you've got to do is you've got to remove all that outer husk.
Right. So how does the process work then? Grain comes in?
Very basically, Matt, this machine here is the dehusking machine.
Okay.
This is what gets all the outer chaff off.
So that's the good stuff?
That's the clean grain, and at this point, it's going from there to there.
Right.
We've lost 40% of our crop by weight out the door as chaff.
So that's quite expensive?
That makes it expensive grain.
So it's very quiet at the moment, is it?
Oh no, it's definitely not running. No, it's definitely not running. Would you like to see it running?
Yeah, if you would, that'd be great. Once the husks have been removed from the spelt, it's placed on the cleaning and destoning tables to remove any debris. To turn the spelt into flour, it goes through the grinding stones. That was the process, so let's see the finished product. So this is
That's full whole grain, so that's got all its bran still in there.
Right.
So that will give you a traditional wholemeal loaf.
Right.
Or cakes or whatever.
Okay.
And then this is the refined flour, as you can see, much whiter, much lighter. And all that's happened there is it's had its bran taken out, so it's not been bleached, it's not been messed around with any sort of chemical to get that white colour.
Okay.
That would give you a beautiful Victoria sponge.
Right.
It will give you a nearly white loaf. So if you have a child that maybe says, "Oh, I don't like brown bread, mummy,"
Yeah, like
you
mine.
give them that. And if they've got a wheat intolerance or a wheat allergy, then they could eat that.
And this is the...
This is our super product. This is the pearl spelt, which
Right.
the primary thing it gets used for is a replacement for arborio rice. It makes a fabulous risotto. It's got this incredible sort of nutty flavour.
You're pretty convinced on it?
Hopefully.
Okay. Well, I would really like to try
There you go.
a bag of this. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. I shall go and put that to very good use. Thanks for that little tour.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will.
I like that brown coat. I love the brown coat.
I love the brown coat and the blue. Why do they have to be blue? Why not bright pink? It's so much more flattering for the face. Throws a lot of light on.
Your mill looked like something out of Trumpton. It was amazing. It was like a giant Meccano set. All these cogs just turning. It's incredible.
I love all that kind of machinery. I think it's fascinating, and I'm so glad that there are people out there who are passionate enough to keep those sort of things going. Right, I know you've got some lovely things there to cook, but let me introduce you to some of the hungry guests who are going to be joining me for dinner. First up, TV presenter and West Country girl Melinda Messenger. You're from round the Somerset. Well, it's not quite Somerset.
Wiltshire. Yes, so it is technically that is the West Country, although specifically it's Swindon. So no, let's not knock Swindon. No, it's a great place. But yeah, the Wiltshire, so West Country.
Also joining me this week is presenter, food writer and all-round gastronomic adventurer Stefan Gates. You're going to be closely watching what the chefs are going to be doing with their West Country items.
Yeah, I'm excited. Trying out some new and sort of rediscovered ingredients, which is really exciting.
Yeah, spelt, which I think a lot of people will be going, what is spelt?
How do you spell it? Yeah. Well, it's and you know, it's one of those sort of
couldn't help
Bronze Age medieval ingredients that's coming back, and that's really exciting. Things like that weren't really around that much 20 years ago. It's a resurgence. It's exciting stuff.
Well, we've got food blogger James Ramsden. Looking forward to today's offerings.
Always, yeah.
Always. And Somerset pub landlord Sean O'Callaghan. Have you brought us any tipples in today?
I haven't, unfortunately, no.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. You're still allowed to sit there. And self-confessed pig lover Jan Wesley.
I don't know if I like that description. Yes, I know my way around a pig's head.
Lovely. Right, so Matt and Mark, you're going to cook us supper using spelt and flour, I presume.
What are you doing? Well, I've got to admit, at this stage, mine could go completely pear-shaped.
Is it in pairs?
No, I'm actually... I thought to myself, it's got this wonderful-smelling, beautiful flour, freshly ground in front of my eyes.
Lovely.
So I thought, well, let's make pasta out of it. Obviously, it's nothing like pasta flour. It's not fine enough, so I'm slightly concerned it's going to be a little bit firm. But let's find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. There's an air of jeopardy about this.
It's a big
isn't there?
adventure. I love the jeopardy.
It is.
That's what it is.
It's Market Kitchen, Big Adventure, Will Mark's Pasta.
Mark Sargent's Flour Adventure.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, what are you doing?
I'm going to be using the spelt. I'm going to make a soup with it. It's essentially, it's like an Italian soup, but instead of farro, we're using spelt. Same sort of, along the same sort of lines. This, incidentally, is a sort of, this is the grain that they reckon the Romans used to march on.
I know,
it's
incredible, isn't it?
What,
Mark,
instead of tarmac?
yeah, let's get on with it. Everybody's a joker today. So, I'm quite excited about Mark's
Come and
dodgy
smell my
dodgy
flour.
pasta. I will.
Actually, bizarrely enough, it's got that wonderful kind of nutty smell to it.
Do you know what? You could dab that
Actually,
behind your ears. Oh, did you need that? No, but it's just too lovely. I'll bring it over in a minute. Or are you going to use all of it?
I'm going to use that, yeah. So basically,
Sorry,
a simple pasta
lovely.
dough. A simple pasta dough, there you go. So basically, a nice lot of the flour in here.
No, it's okay, you can carry on.
Okay, right,
I'm
sorry.
just having a sniff.
A really good pinch of salt.
Oh yeah.
And I make a well in there. A drizzle of olive oil.
Can I get me nose in there sometimes?
I hope you're paying attention, Penny.
Yeah, but what have you done?
I'm going to ask you to make this for me later.
Okay.
So it's a simple pasta dough, the flour and then the eggs going in the centre. And then basically we're going to just bring that together as a good pasta in here.
You always put olive oil in your pasta.
I do,
Oh, you didn't mention the olive oil.
I
If
did.
I was
You weren't paying attention. You were too busy over there, but I did. A glug of olive oil. And you just bring it together, and then we're just going to work
With your
this.
hand, is that the normal thing?
Yeah, I'm just going to bring it together with my fingers, and then work it, and knead it so it becomes nice and smooth and elastic. And then we're going to make my...
This is essentially wholemeal flour, isn't it? And you can get wholemeal pasta.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
But it's not... Yeah, but it needs to be really, really fine. The flour needs to be what they call a 00, which is, ultra, ultra fine. Right, I'm going to need to knead this for a little bit, so you can go and see what Matt's up to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Matt, what are you up to?
Okay, Penny, right, so I've got a basic pancetta, okay?
Now, I know that you don't eat
I'm
meat.
a veggie.
Which is fine, because over here we've got a vegetarian
Fabulous.
version made with, obviously no pancetta and veg stock. Okay,
Can't you just say, here's one I made earlier?
Well, I will. I was
Especially for me.
Okay, so we've got a base of pancetta, a sofrito, which is onion, carrots, celery. Okay, I've got some herbs in there, so bay leaf and thyme. I tend to sort of throw that in a lot of stocks and
don't
soups.
you? Yeah.
I'm going to put I've just noticed, I'm going to finish it with parmesan, but I'm going to put the rind of the parmesan
Oh,
in here. Yeah.
We're
You get
not-
amazing flavour. Save your rinds. Take it right the way down, and then you get amazing flavour in your soups, your risottos.
so you just put it in and then take it out before you do
And just hook
anything
it
with
out. It goes kind of soft and
Elastic-y.
what have you. Throw it away, but it gives you a really, really good base flavour.
Right. Did it? Have you ever done that?
Yes. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, in fact, if you get to the end of your parmesan and you don't need to use it at that time, you stick the little crusty bit in the
Yeah.
freezer.
Keep it in the fridge. Get a little
and
box
it's there
together.
for your next soup.
Here's my spelt. Okay, a lot like pearl barley.
Does that act exactly like? Does that act exactly like
Like pearl barley.
pearl barley?
Yes.
It does.
Yes. You can obviously thicken soups, sauces with it. But this, I'm not going to blitz this because I want that sort of texture. So in goes the spelt. Okay.
Sean, have you ever cooked with spelt before?
We have. I have a fellow who does it as a hobby, and he grows spelt and he grinds it up and brings it up to us. It's a bit coarser than that, and we do use it in little things, in kind of oat cakes and things like that.
The thing about spelt is it's meant to be really good if you've got like an intolerance, because so many people now have intolerances, don't
Well,
they?
that's how Roger got into it. Because his sister was ill and she needed something that was sort of soothing on her stomach, and this is very...
And also, it's just useful if you just eat too much wheat, for goodness sake. And since it's in so much stuff, particularly if you eat processed food, which of course we don't actually ever suggest you eat, but it is in quite a lot of processed food.
This is also very good if you use this, if you just soak it in cold water.